Where my girls at?
Okay. Yeah.
Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
All right.
Hey, 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 y'all, hey. We are excited. We're excited. We're excited. We're excited. So much juicy stuff is happening today. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Working with this new microphone.
I don't know.
So
no.
we
no
are
guess,
getting
no
ready
guess,
to
no
go
guess.
live. We're getting ready
No.
to go live.
Okay. Thanks.
We are getting ready to go live. So here we go. Awesome. Here we go. Here we go.
Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Oh my goodness. It is Gloria Mayfield Banks, and I'm excited to be at home. Woo! Hallelujah, hallelujah. I am at home from 3 weeks away, you guys. I'm so excited to be at home. Can you hear my energy? Can you hear my energy? We are on We Got Issues. We're talking about We Got Issues on our radio show, Talk Radio, because we got issues. And we know you got issues, and we know we all got issues, and we're here to talk about the issues every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. We are strong into our second month, and we are excited. We're excited that you're joining us. We're excited that you're sharing us. We're excited that you're calling in. What? Call in at 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. You guys, today we're talking about keeping them, copying them, or cutting them off. We're talking about the mentorship, relationships, and how they've helped us shape who we are and shape who we lead and shape what we do with our lives. I'm so excited that you guys are with us. I want to tell you, I'm going to say it over and over and over and over and over again. That 910 AM Superstation app is the real deal. You can listen, you can call in, you can hear it, you can keep doing your email, you can multitask. Everything is still going on. So we're so excited. Today in Baltimore, can I tell you, I'm talking about rain. I mean rain, like rain, and then poof, beauty. I mean, green everywhere, sun everywhere. I was talking earlier and I said, you know how you're in a storm in your life, and then right after the storm, everything is beautiful again. Everything smells good, feels good. It's like a refresher. That's what that rain was today. It was like a refresher. So Baltimore is beautiful right now. It's warm. There's no humidity. I love it. I've been in weeks of humidity between being in Columbia and Atlanta, where it was fabulous, but it was humid. Come up north, you get less humidity. So that's been really, really fabulous. I'm excited, you guys, to talk about this because in the term of mentorship, these women that are on here, the force, they've been some of my major mentors, but we're excited to talk to you guys and learn from you guys and want to hear your story. So I'm going to throw it way over to the West Coast. I'm talking about Katrina Harris Earl, one of the girls. Katrina, what's happening? What's happening?
Yes, I have my Girlfriends Matter shirt on today. Feel like it's crooked. I got it. We talked about boob jobs and stuff the other day. Maybe I need to get my shirt straight. Okay.
That's wrong with your shirt.
Mine is all natural. It's hanging where it's hanging, but I got Vicky to help me out. So anyways, this is so cool, y'all. We are on the radio. We have a good time every day. We definitely talk about the serious stuff, and this is serious. Women have been mothered and they've been managed, but not everybody's been mentored, and there's nothing like a mentor, someone who speaks into your life. Oh my gosh. So I can't wait. Gloria's in the rain. I'm burning up. I have my shorts on today. My husband was walking behind me like, I see you in your shorts. Inside shorts. You know how you have your inside shorts and your outside shorts? So I will not be showing you the inside shorts, but it is a lot of good stuff happening here. And when I tell you, I just have to say this, my 88-year-old father-in-law is here and he plays bid whist. Okay. And nobody else plays. Wow. That's what keeps him young. So he has been teaching my mama to play bid with him. He's like, you gonna play. And I mean, when I tell you, he turned his alter ego when he slapped them cards down. Oh my gosh, they are funny. They are funny. It is so much energy happening here. Chrisette, how you doing today? Looking fabulous as always. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. Hey, Detroit. Hey, everybody that's listening. I'm excited to be here, of course, with my girls. We got issues, and I'm excited about this topic on today. You guys, I did something that I had not done before. I went and had a facial today, and I've had facials years and years ago, and I'm not talking about the ones we give ourselves daily, twice a day. I'm talking about going to a professional. Kiara's like, Mom, you got too much hair on your face. I'm like, I don't see any hair. You don't see it, but I see it, okay? And when I tell you that chick, she take care, I mean, she doing stuff that I never thought about doing. I mean, that new generation, when I say they splurge on facials, pedicures, and manicures, anything to take care of themselves, they do it. She's downstairs working. I was like, Lord, let me get down there with her and work out. But she's like, you need to go get one. So I went today, and when I tell you, I am absolutely in love. I mean, she showed me the hair that she got. Oh my God. And when I tell you, when she finished, my face was glowing. So when I tell you, I'm feeling pretty good today. I can put my face out there because it was it's called a derma facial. And she was wonderful.
How long was it, Chris? How long was it?
It took her, it was about an hour, but she does extra stuff. Like she massaged my arm. Literally, I said, I hope I didn't snore. That's how great. It was awesome. I could totally recommend her. Totally. So again, it's a great day in the D. I'm going to throw it to my girl, Sabrina Goodwin Monday. What's up, Bree?
Right. Right. $25.
Sabrina, unmute on StreamYard because they want to hear you on Facebook too.
Okay. And so just special prayers going up. I said, it's just been a crazy day, a lot going on. When I am waking up, Kenny is telling me good night. Just these different time zones are crazy. But tomorrow is competition day over in Bulgaria. And so I'm going to be a little selfish and ask for prayer for our team. You guys, this is a big doggone deal to be halfway around the world. And this is called the Last Chance Qualifier. Can you imagine the best guys in the world in this weight class? And the top two, you must place in the top two to be able to go to the Olympics in Tokyo.
So they take two out of the 25 people?
The top two for this weight class, yes.
Wow.
Yes, and
You know what?
and
We're going to
so
spend a minute on this, Sabrina. Let's spend a minute on this. Don't rush through this one because we're talking about mentorship. And I'm
right.
watching Kenny. I'm watching his stories over there in Bulgaria. And he's one of the most important mentors in one of the most important sports. And now he's getting ready for the Olympics. So I think it's a very positive thing for you to spend a minute just talking about how his mentorship has made a difference and how you support him from over here when he's over there. Talk a little bit more about that because that's amazing.
Yeah. You know, we are talking about mentorship, and mentorship is so important. We can go back through our lives and think about those pivotal points in our life where there was somebody who believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. And, you know, wrestling, as physical as this sport is, because you have to be strong, you have to have stamina, you have to have strength, and then you have to manage your weight. So you can only get so big. So the last 2-3 days, they've just been focused on cutting that weight. Because if you step on the scale and you're 1/10 over, you are out. You cannot.
1/10.
Yeah. Wow. You cannot be over. Yes. And so it's just the discipline. And so Kenny says at this point, the work, when they went over there, the physical work was done. He spent a lot of time on mental this week.
Right.
Pouring belief into Jordan, making sure that Jordan didn't look to the left or to the right of his competition. Because you can imagine all these strong, really good guys from all over the world. They're all staying in the same hotel. So they have to look at each other. You know, you know who you're going to wrestle. You know who might be the person. And so you just have to have hard focus. And so Kenny is very, he's keyed in. You could just tell right before a big competition like this, he's very serious. He's very focused. He's very analytical and faith-filled. We had Bible study this morning, and it's just important, you know, very important to be locked in and know that God will give us what we pray for. And so he conveys that to Jordan. And so, but can you imagine being Jordan Oliver? He's worked his whole life for this opportunity. And he's just 3 matches away from going to Tokyo. So.
Wow. Where does he live? Where's Jordan from?
He trains right here in Chapel Hill with Kenny, right here in Chapel Hill.
But is he from there?
Here. He's originally from Jersey. So he moved here, Pennsylvania or Jersey. So he moved here 3 years ago for this moment.
Wow.
He said, and so then they worked to beat everybody. You guys remember we went to the U.S. Olympic trials a few weeks ago, beat everybody in the U.S. And so now one more tournament and we're there. So focus, discipline, believing in your mentor. Because you believe in your mentor and the mentee has to believe in you, right? So it's a two-way street. And Kenny always talked about, I got to get the buy-in. I remember when Jordan first moved here, I mean, Kenny had to do a heck of a sales job just to get him here because he was looking at some other training camps. And Kenny really wanted him here because he knew the talent that he had. And I was like, dang, you really want him? You're going on and on and on. Okay. And you know, a year into the relationship, he said, I'm getting the buy-in. He's starting to believe. And then it was just so heartwarming. The other day, he texted me, said, I've never seen him better.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys, you know, I don't know if you guys all know, our listeners need to lean in because when you have the first Black Olympic gold medalist in the sport of wrestling, and then listen to this, somebody moves to the city. That's such a big commitment. I'm going to talk about commitment. Moves to the city to be with a mentor who sought you out. So both of them had to make a tremendous commitment to that relationship. And as we talk about mentors and mentees, we're going to talk about some stories of people who have done this for us. But sometimes one person leans in before the other person leans in. But while Kenny's going after Jordan, Jordan literally moves to North Carolina. He has to block out all the noise from everybody else and all the advice. Can you imagine? Every person he considered them to be the best. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then he now knows he made the right choice because now he's all the way over there in Bulgaria with the coach that he chose. And the coach that he chose was coached so well in order to get a gold medal. I mean, I can go on and on and on. It's just interesting to me. It's interesting to me. Let me talk about this for a second. You know, one of the things that they talked about in mentorship is the importance and the success of mentorship and how it comes together. But I want to give you some names of some famous mentors and mentees. They talked about Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, and that he made a big difference in Zuckerberg's future. Steve Jobs did. And they used to walk around the park a lot out in California to talk about how, listen to this, they talk mostly about what you can create can change the world. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Steve Jobs created the iPhone and Apple changed the world. Facebook changed the world. And the things that they talk about, we talk about mentors and how they talk on different levels. And they're talking about, they're talking about changing the world. They're not talking about what bra size you are. They talk about mentoring. It's just amazing. Then they talked about how Gates took a lot of advice from Warren Buffett, and that Buffett has mentored one of the richest men and richest couples in the world. So that was really amazing. Then they talk about Maya Angelou mentoring Oprah Winfrey, and how, Oprah talks about it all the time, how she has a mentor in Maya, and how Maya Angelou walked her through some of the most important times in her life. And one of the things I loved about one of Oprah's stories, because when we think about Oprah, she's this big person. She said she was in her bathroom trying to get the TV network going. And she was in her bathroom crying miserably because she could not get the support for her network. And then Maya called her and walked her through it and said, get it together. I mean, just so important. And then Oprah turns around and mentors Tyler Perry. It's just so interesting. Then they talk about Father Michael Vanderpeet mentored Mother Teresa. Listen to this, guys. Isn't that deep? Because they talk about mentorship in life, professional, personal, religion. They met in Rome waiting for a bus, became close friends, often chatting and confiding in each other. Then they talk about Christian Dior mentoring Yves Saint Laurent. Right? Yeah. So this is a mentorship. This is a mentorship of competitors, right? Of competitors. And they talked about how Yves Saint Laurent became Christian Dior's personal assistant, learning the secrets of the haute couture and how to run a company. And that Dior fascinated him so much that he couldn't even speak to him. He was so taken by him as a mentor, and then turns out to be that kind of person. I mean, just amazing. Then Steven Spielberg mentoring J.J. Abrams, both in the TV world. And Abrams met Steven Spielberg when he was 16 years old, hired him to clean old tapes and movies so that they would never get lost. And because he decided, because we're talking about how to find a good mentor. So because Abrams helped Steven Spielberg do the dirty work, he learned so much from doing that he became one of his best mentors. And now Abrams, I think it's J.J. Abrams, is called the new Spielberg. And then they talked about how Mahatma Gandhi, I say that right? I mispronounce everything, was a mentor to Nelson Mandela, but only through the books. So the type of mentorship that you can have, and that Mandela said he was probably the most mind-shifting person in his life was Mahatma Gandhi. I know I said his name right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Then they talk about Michelle Robinson mentoring Barack Obama. Wow. Michelle Robinson, who is now Michelle Obama, mentoring Barack when he first got to the law office. And some of the mentorship that she gave him shifted his life in the way that he worked and the way that he was perceived at the law office. And that her support has been some of his biggest achievements. Then they talked about two of my favorite, Audrey Hepburn mentoring Elizabeth Taylor. Like, I love Katharine Hepburn. I think I wear pants because of Katharine Hepburn, like, for real. So she says she just loved them, and that they remained friends until they passed. So it was really interesting to hear how these different mentors made a difference.
Gloria.
For them. And yeah, go ahead.
Yesterday on Live with Kelly and John Baptiste, who won the score for Soul. Did you see that?
Yes.
He was on, and at the end, he took his Grammy, and they asked him what it meant to him. And he said yesterday he was at Herbie Hancock's house, and Herbie Hancock won the best score. He was the last African American to win the best score, and he won the year John Baptiste was born.
No.
Wow.
No.
And he said, this
way.
Grammy is not a Grammy, it is a baton. And I am looking, it's not a Grammy, Academy Award. He won the Academy Award for best score.
Right.
Said
Right.
this Academy Award is not an Academy Award. This is a baton, and I am going to pass it on. I mean, that thing was like, I had to rewind it. I was like, Anthony, come here. It was just so powerful hearing him.
Wow.
All that time passed, but wow.
The year he was born. You guys, when I watch John Baptiste and I watch his energy and I watch his flavor and I watch his grand desire to reach back and meet and bring other people forward, I absolutely love to watch the talent, because, God has given them talent, but they don't have to pass it on if they don't want to, but they choose to pass it on. So I'm really excited. You guys, I want to encourage our listeners to call in and give us some information or some examples of some mentors that have mentored in your life at 313-778-7600. You make the conversation richer when you call in and tell us a story. And here's the thing. I know when we call into a radio station, you get nervous. We used to be nervous. Y'all used to could hear our voice quivering. Now we're like, okay, time to get on the radio. So we certainly want you guys to call in and let us know about your stories as we get ready to go to the break. When we come back to the break, I'm going to give you some elements that make mentorship really powerful. And then you're going to hear from us some of the stories that have really made a difference for us. So we're going to check back with us. Hang with us. Don't forget to download the app at 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, WFDF. We got issues, and this is the force of friendship. This is the force of friendship. And we'll see you in a minute.
All right, y'all. We are on a commercial break. Can you type in the chat? One or two. As a matter of fact, tag them if you're connected with them on Facebook. Tag one or two of those that have been your biggest mentor, or even tag someone that you have been able to mentor.
Drea, okay, great.
In
Thank
life,
you.
we can think about in business. We can think about life. We can think about mentors that helped you to become a better mom. Those that mentored you in marriage, mentored you spiritually. Who mentored you? Who are those that you have mentored? And so we want you to type in the chat and let us know. You see when they wave, and that's because I was still talking on the radio over the commercials. So yes, I want to hear from you. Who has mentored you? Who has mentored you? We want to see, we want to hear. We are on a commercial break. I love it. Tammy, yes, mentors. I love it. Thank you, Camila. Okay. So who has been the big difference? I mean, I remember Mrs. Flores. Mrs. Flores was my third grade teacher, y'all. Third grade teacher. Yes, a professor. Today is her birthday. Awesome. Tag her. And what did she do? One
perfect,
type of name.
Michael.
This
Thank
is
you
an
so
opportunity
much.
for you
Perfect.
to give somebody a shout out who has helped you be better in a particular area of your life. And what did they do? I remember Mrs. Flores. I just wanted to be her. She was poised. She was powerful. She was, I loved how she talked. Thanks, Drea. I love it. Drea talks about her mentor. And so you just, I remember Mrs. Flores. I remember she was one of the first professional women I saw. And I love it. Greatest mentors. So your mom. Yes. Wasn't that interesting how Michelle Obama was one of President Obama's biggest mentors. And so I love that. Wanda Vesley, when you worked for corporate quality at the Detroit Medical Center. Yes, mentors make all the difference in the world. Linda Jenkins, we're about to come back from the commercial break. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. We're tearing up this topic, You guys, the love, the laugh, the lessons. We're bringing it to you positive, powerful, and not Pollyanna. This is what I want to tell you guys first. I want to tell you, if we don't say it a zillion times, we're going to say it a million zillion times. Happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. From the force, from the force, from the force. Who has to wait till Sunday? We can say it all week long. We can say it over and over and over again because it means so much, so much, so much. You guys, we're talking about what makes a great mentor. The copying, the comparing, or the cutting them off. Drea, you know we love you, Drea. You calling in. We love to hear what you have to say on We Got Issues. And anybody else that wants to call in, we want you to call in at 313-778-7600. Drea, we'd love to hear your voice. What comment do you have for us today?
Hi, Gloria. Hey. My number one mentor was my mother. My mother encouraged me to do anything and everything that I could reach for and told me to reach for the spoon, but I might catch a star. And Gloria, you were one of my mentors. I met you in 1990, around the 90s. And you encouraged me. I remember walking out to your car with you and you encouraging me to continue. And you told me I would be somebody in Mary Kay. I fell out of Mary Kay and I'm back in Mary Kay because I remembered what you said to me. And my other mentor is Mrs. Ernestine Shepherd. Yeah, my fitness mom. She's the one that believed in me on the fitness level when I thought that I could not do what I do. She gave me a reason and made me able to inspire other people through Facebook, through my journey. So I thank all three of you.
Wow, that is so good. That is so good. I love the fact that you call in for with the encouragement that you get with someone believing you. You know, we talked about that earlier. A mentor that will believe in you before you believe in yourself. I truly had that happen for me. Someone believing in me before I believed in myself was big, big, big. We have callers. Thank you, Trey. We love you for calling in. We love you. You guys, we love to hear you. We love to hear the over and over again. Yes, yes. Is the caller there? Caller, can we hear from you as well? I am. Can you hear me? I can, and I'm glad to hear you. Welcome to We Got Issues. We Got Issues. Talk to us.
Well, happy Cinco de Mayo, ladies.
Yes, I didn't say that. You're so brilliant to say that. Thank you so much. Happiness, Cinco de Mayo. Yes, absolutely.
And I did an interesting thing. I tried Mexican Town. It was too crowded. I had to have a taco. Excuse me, I just had.
What about the margarita? No margarita?
You had to have a taco.
I had to have a taco. Come on now. Cinco de Mayo. I had to have a taco.
Right.
Mentoring through connection, watching, osmosis, reading books. I've been mentored by folks who don't know I've been mentored by them.
Right.
One of your nice little people who was sitting in that little group of four with y'all, First Lady has always said it's okay to be a copycat, just copy the right cat.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So without her knowing, you know, she gets up on Sundays, always dressed nice, always treat people nice. That's mentorship. I never went up to her and said, First Lady, can you teach me this? Can you? I just watch. I watch people. And by watching individuals who are excellent examples, I say I'm mentored through osmosis. But Holy First Lady, if a young person that might want to see, because when we're doing this, you guys are talking about mothers that didn't have a book to learn how to do what they do. Well, same thing in womanhood, and same thing for pastors' wives, and same thing for ladies in Mary Kay. So here's my Mary Kay mentoring story.
Okay.
So I was without a job. First Lady let me do some things I was a DJ. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So being around the Mary Kay winners, can I tell you that mentored me too? That lifted me up. So, and here's why. You all have such a winning spirit. I could see it in the pictures I looked at. And as I worked on PowerPoint, and I never told her this. I have not told her this. This first time she's hearing this.
We got all the
pictures. The seminar pictures. The joy that comes through those pictures when I'm putting them together, I'm like, these things are the happiest things I've ever seen in my life. It lifted my spirit. So that's what I figured mentorship is. I've been mentored by a lot of wonderful people because I choose the right people to look at, to read their books, to watch their biographies and so on and so forth. First Lady Michelle Obama, her book, that's mentoring. Even Barack Obama, president, excuse me. So thank you for your time, ladies. I sometimes I try not to call in, but good old subject, and I can't resist. I can't resist. Keep up the good work. Love you.
Carla, thank you so much. We love you too. We're so glad you call in. Don't ever hold back from calling in. We want to hear you. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear what you have to say. We definitely want to hear your story. We're hoping some more callers call in today with their stories. Thank you, Drea. Thank you, Carla. We love hearing the stories and love hearing the voices. I want to tell you this. It takes a mentor, a mentee, and a relationship to bring it together. A mentor, a mentee, and the base of a relationship. Before we go into any more of that,
how about Brian? Brian, are you there with us? We'd love to hear from you on We Got Issues. Brian, you're one of our.
I love y'all, man, and we do. We got issues, but we got this, though. Let me tell you something. It's gonna be funny, man. I have a Mary Kay story.
Okay, all righty.
Let me tell y'all, and this is crazy, so I want y'all to understand something. I've never seen nothing like this in my life, but I will tell you this. The people that I talked to have met, I called my brother and I said, you have to see this, man. 7 Mile have nothing but pink Cadillacs, and you won't believe this. And, of course, it was the Franklin funeral. God bless her soul. But let me tell you, out of the experience, we got a chance to talk to a lot of out-of-towners. My God, you won't believe the hospitality back and forth. We welcome them. And, I mean, I'm telling you, from everywhere we went, and these people were, like, amazed. And I'm telling you, if you ever talk to those people that came from out of town, they will tell you that there was groups of people that just not only welcomed them, y'all showed y'all butt. So shout out to Detroit. And I wish this show a very big success. And let me tell you something. I want to put something out there, and I'm not churching to this like you guys are. I do believe in Yahweh and Yahshua. I vision you women doing something with some girls in Detroit, honestly. Only y'all can do it. And that's Sister Coletta. Between y'all and Detroit, if y'all can do something, I see these women, the next ones in Detroit, just being whatever we need to be, because a lot of people don't get it. All the stars came from Detroit. We have the cars. We have the houses.
Talk about it, right?
So I believe records, baby. I keep it 100.
Right.
Keep that 100. We done it. So once again, shout out to y'all for coordinating. I'll use that word. I'm learning words.
Okay.
For coordinating Detroit, and that's how I do it on that festive occasion of Miss Franklin. Shout out. My mama's Memphis, Tennessee. She used to babysit Miss Franklin. Cass Calloway's her cousin. My mom was one of the first black ladies to sing in Memphis, Tennessee on the radio. So shout out to you guys in the Calloway.
Okay, Brian. Yes, thank you so much. We totally remember that. You know what? That is such a great memory of ours, and Brian brought it to light. When we had lined up 7 Mile in the great city of Detroit.
With pink coming from everywhere. So that's very exciting that he would bring that up. Sabrina, you had something to add? That's exciting.
You know, I was just talking about, we're thinking about mentors. Mentorship is so important. I don't know how people don't do it. You have to love mentoring. But I also know that leadership is fellowship. You can't be a great leader without at some point in your life being a great follower. And I just always love learning. I always gravitate to women who and men who want to pour into others. I think mentorship is unselfish. You have to be a servant leader to lead others. Yeah. And I'm just grateful for all the mentorship in my life. There's no way that I'd be where I am having any of the success that I've had without somebody imparting, you can do it, believe in yourself, be kind, be nice. My mother was my first mentor. When I tell you, I love my mama. She was my very best friend. God bless her soul. I mean, style, stamina, stature, everything about Alquita Joy. And when people tell me now, you sound just like your mama. You look like your mama. It's the greatest compliment. It is the greatest compliment because you guys, she just always saw the best in everybody. And I think when you are mentoring, no matter what it looks like, you have to see the very best in somebody else. And so I publicly thank you because you know you have been my mentor, all of our mentors. And I know we're supposed to talk outside of that, but we have to let our tribe know that Gloria is our mentor, you guys. I mean, she leads from the front and she's always leading with a big heart. So Gloria, thank you. Chrisette is my mentor. Katrina is my mentor. I'm glad that I have girlfriends, seriously, who I look up to. Girlfriends who are going to be open, honest, transparent, but they always see the best. So when I'm having a bad day, I'm calling a girlfriend and they help me sort things out. And today it was Jessica for me to help me sort something out. So I talked to my cousin Michelle earlier today. She helped me sort some things out. So I just think it's important for you to reach out. I think many times people are too proud to reach up and reach out.
Right.
So you gotta put that ego. You gotta put that ego down. Put the ego down and reach up.
You know what, Sabrina,
go ahead.
that was so powerful. You know, when I was thinking about the topic on today, I was thinking about how important it is to have great relationships, because when you have great relationships with people and you build great relationships, those relationships will transcend just you and that person. You know, I think about my father-in-law, Bishop David Ellis, and how big of a personality he was in the city of Detroit and how many relationships he built along the way. I mean, literally, he walked in a room, lit up the room. I mean, he was just that person. He was such a great mentor, but he also had his mentors. And then when Chuck became the pastor, because of the relationships that his dad had established along the way, he was able to reach up to the individuals that his father, you know, had built great relationships with. And so, you know, having great relationships is so important when it comes to mentoring, because I think about, even as a pastor's wife, when I got thrust into that position, and literally, I promise you, in and of myself, I was like, I'm not ready for this. I thought I was going to be 20 years older, a lot of more experience under my belt. And I was able to reach out to one of the premier first ladies in the city of Detroit. I mean, Reverend Jessica Ingram, AME, when I tell you, she had the women's conference in the city of Detroit. And I was able to call her. She invited me to her office, literally gave me as much time as I needed to talk to her. But I could do that not because I knew her, but because she was very good friends with my father-in-law. So because they had a relationship, years later, I could pull on the relationship he established to call her. So, you know, you guys, we have to always remember that the relationship that we're building with people, when they are mentoring us, will reach far beyond just us. You know, with my daughter Kiera, I'm so glad that I have positive relationships especially with you guys, because I know Kiera has called upon each of you for information, for encouragement. You guys are mentors to her, but that's because of the relationship that I have. So, you know, relationships are so important when it comes to mentorship.
That is big, Chris. That's big, big, big. You know, I was thinking at first when Sabrina was talking, I was thinking about how all of us know each other's mothers and how we've had a chance to fall in love with each other's mother. And I remember the moment I met Queet when she came in for one of Sabrina's events. And when she came in that door, I looked at her like, OMG. I will never forget. The shoes matched the outfit. I will never forget that feeling. And then I remember when, in a heartbeat, Chrisette became the first lady of this gigantic church in Detroit. We, all of us, you know, we are girls, right? We all looked at each other like, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know. But listen, this is us, right? You could do it, girl. You could do it. You could do it. You know, we were like, you could do it. You could do it. So the stories and the information of being a mentor. And the other thing that you talked about, Chris, which was so important, is that when you get to the table, you have to reach back. Because when you have been brought forward, like that, the woman that you talked about, she brought you forward. Now you're in a position to bring other people forward. Getting to the table and taking someone else to the table is a big part of mentorship. So I really appreciate that story, because in all of our lives, we've seen each other mentor each other, but we've also watched other people mentor us. Like, we've had a side view of seeing other people mentor us, and it's been such a really, really big deal. And I will tell you, when you become someone that mentors, you do put your heart on the line. They are some of the best relationships that you will have, but you also put your heart on the line. And so if someone ever reaches out to mentor you, please understand that is such a big gift. Grab it, even if they do it wrong. Katrina, you wanted to add something there?
I mean, I couldn't. This is so rich, because this morning in our Bible broadcast, this is exactly what we talked about. So I'm pulling it directly from my notes. My favorite mentorship story in the Bible is Moses and Joshua. That's my absolute favorite story, but we are studying Samuel. And so, Gloria, as Sabrina said, as Chris has said, you have been the most significant mentor in my life. And as I read these things, this is exactly what I've learned and what I've observed from you. These are what mentors do. They speak words of revelation. They inspire, exhort, affirm. They give information, declaration. They make declarations over your life. This is what Kenny is doing for his future
Jordan.
Olympian, for Jordans. They simplify the message. So many times I've called you to take something complicated and help it be more simple so I can get it. They see the person. You've always seen me. Show your credibility. You've proven over and over and over about how credible you are and why I should listen. And then you seek a response. This is strategic partnerships to help to fulfill God's given mission. When you want to fulfill a God-given mission, you can go further with a coach, further with a mentor than you can alone. And so just a few other things. You can speak into one's life when they're secure in their calling. There is nothing like mentoring somebody who's secure in where she's going, but understands there's a gap. Mentors help you to see your own personal blind spot. They complement your role and you honor them for it. They take initiative. It's a joy to mentor someone who takes initiative, who has a servant's heart, who uses their strengths. You're not trying to be the mentor, but a mentor helps you to use your own strengths. They have a team that they're not envious. It's not envious and not intimidated by each other's strengths. And just a couple more. You hurt for their failure and you relish with them in their win. When
Girl, talk about that one right there.
I mean,
say it again.
You don't own it. You don't own their success is theirs, okay, and their failure is theirs. But you hurt when they fail, and you celebrate them when they win. I mean, you're there, and you help to dust them off and adjust their crown and get back going. And so, bottom line is, lastly, a good mentor will intercede for you in prayer for your goals. They stand for you. They see it when you forget what it's all about. So I thought that was so good from Samuel. And last thing, Clubhouse is amazing for mentorship. I see so many people being mentored on Clubhouse.
Wow, Katrina, talk about that.
I was listening to a group of people that have produced on Netflix. They have shows on Netflix, and there were, probably 20 people on the panel. And it's just like anybody who has a screenplay. I know I'm using the wrong language, but anyone who that is their goal, they could get in there and they could listen, and this is, I mean, big time. They've, I could drop names, and it's free. The things that so many times people pay thousands of dollars for a masterclass, you can jump on Clubhouse and get mentored about any topic by all kinds of amazing people in their field. So
You know, I'm so glad you brought that up, Katrina. Both the examples that you gave when you gave the about Samuel out of the Bible and the things that we hear over and over again and how we have to be reminded over and over again. And then the thing about Clubhouse, when, you know, some people say, oh my gosh, another app. But the bottom line is that you check in when you can and check out when you can't. And it's like that with everything that we do. Everything. There's a lot going on in life. And that's why mentors are important too, because they help you narrow your focus. But, you know, there's things that we need to be up on. You know, we brought each other up on Clubhouse. One person finds out about something, you mentor someone else to get in it, you mentor someone else to get in it, and you get better and better and better at it. So mentorship is in all areas, all areas. Let me give you a couple of things that say what to look for in a mentor, because as you go to your next platform, as you do something that's completely different, as you increase your courage and do something, you're going to look for these. You're looking for, in a mentor, someone who has a desire to develop and help others. I loved what you said, Katrina, when they celebrate them and they feel their pain. And when you're a mentor, you really do feel the pain. I can only just feel when Sabrina was talking about finding Jordan, seeing his talent, knowing that he didn't have all the talent that was there, but could bring it out in him, you know, just bring it out. I mean, I remember Chuck, when he took over the church, I mean, Chuck was all about the money. He didn't care about nothing. He was like counting the money, was the whole accountant for the church. And then overnight, he's the senior pastor. I mean, I remember watching this transformation of all these things that have happened. I've watched Anthony and his transformation. I've watched what he's now turned into, especially with the sisterhood with Katrina in the background, as at another level. When he had that photo shoot, I was like, oh, look at Anthony now. I mean, it's just, we're all looking at our husbands. We're all looking at what they're doing that makes a difference. But they have a desire to develop and help others. They have an ability and availability to commit real time and energy. You guys, I'm mentoring a woman who is, she was Miss DC, met her during the Miss USA contest. She called me up and she asked me I was very clear at the time I had. It was very limited. I'm going to bring her on the talk show. You guys are going to meet her, but she's handled the mentorship. She's extremely prepared. She sends me a date and a time in advance. She understands my availability. I understand her availability, and there's good intentions on both sides. They're current and relevant in the industry and the organization knowledge. You know, when you're dealing with someone that's mentoring, let me tell you something. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand mentors who all they talk about is what happened 20 years ago. Girl, 20 years ago, I'm talking about right now, today. I'm trying to move ahead today. I'm not talking about 20 years ago. I'm talking about today. It makes a difference. The other thing is a mentor will be transparent. They're going to talk about their failures and their personal experiences. If we have anybody that's listening on this show and you're thinking about being a mentor or you're evaluating mentorship, you will find that the transparency on someone said how I did something wrong and how I did something right will make a difference. The growth in mindset and the learning attitude will make a difference, and developing the skills in others. And when you're going to be a good mentee, you have clear goals, needs, and wants. And, you know, this is such a big deal when we're talking to women. We're talking about the willingness to ask for help and show vulnerability. If you don't have those things, it's really difficult if you don't have those things in place, that you're willing to be vulnerable and you're willing to ask for help when things get challenged. I know so many people that when things get challenged, all they say to themselves is, I should be able to figure it out. I should be able to figure it out. I should be able to figure it out. And they sit in a hole and they don't reach up. But I always tell people, because we've all been through it, when you have the biggest quantum leap is when you ask somebody else for help. You guys, you know, one of the things that I am getting mentorship in, not because I asked for it, not because I've had a personal conversation, but I love watching these women who are making the protest happen. I love watching the courage of some of these women who are 20 years younger than me, going to the streets and saying Black Lives Matter. And I know that I'm putting myself on the line when I say it, but I love to watch the courage. I love to watch them shift things. I love them making a change. I love them going up against something that's uncomfortable. And to me, I consider them mentoring me in those things. You have to have response time. You have to have confidentiality. So when you're talking about the relationship, Chris, you talked about that you can't mentor without having a relationship. And so you're someone who can get back to you right away makes a difference. Someone that you can confide in makes a difference. Someone who has focus makes a difference. So anybody want to add to that? Any stories that they know on a mentor that's made a difference for you in some of those categories or the relationships?
Yeah, Gloria, I have a story that I've told many times before, and you've heard this story. And as a mentor, you are able to see things in people that they can't see in themselves many times, because you guys, comparison is so real. I mean, so many times we can get caught up in comparing ourselves to other people. And of course, we always come up short because we compare our worst qualities against their best qualities. And so, that is something that many of us struggle with. I don't care how far you succeed, or, one of the things Oprah said, even on her show, when she's had the greatest of the greats on her show, she said the one question that everybody always asks is, how did I do? So everybody is always, trying to be their best. And I just remember, and this is probably, 15 or so years ago, but it has been something that has stood out in my life. And I'm going to tell you, this is important because as you mentor, it helps you. When you are mentored, it helps you mentor other people. Right. And so because you learn the lessons. And I just remember we were somewhere and all of us had to speak. And, we have another girlfriend that's extremely funny. And everybody knows when you have to speak in front of a crowd, you never want to follow the one that everybody is giving a loud applause to, that everybody is laughing. And that gut laugh where tears are flowing and you need tissue. So of course, yours truly had to follow our girlfriend. And so I just remember dreading that because she's just some people are just naturally funny, and she is. And I remember getting up and, whatever it was, I can't even remember what I was talking on. But to me, I felt like a big L was on my head because people didn't laugh. They didn't, they didn't clap as loud. And I'm thinking, and you know what? It just takes that one thought to feed. And so the rest of that particular event, I couldn't even enjoy it because I felt so bad that I had fallen flat. And I remember going up to Gloria and saying, Gloria, I just feel so bad. I don't think I did a good job. I didn't do as good as, Natalie, I didn't do as good and blah, blah, blah. And she was so funny and I was boring. I was this. And you looked me in the eye, you said, Chrisette, that's not your personality. She is this. She's funny. People are going to laugh. She said, but that's not your style. You're more inspirational, which makes people think. And that for me was so important because had I gotten all in my feelings and not spoken up, that literally could have been the day that I said, I'm never going to speak to a group of people again. I'm never going to do that because I don't like the way it made me feel. And sometimes with mentorship, that is so important because that one word of encouragement to say, you did great. Stop beating yourself up. Be you. That's the best person that you could be, can totally change your life. And so I just think it's important as mentors that, we make ourselves available. And when I say available, I'm not talking about the time. I'm talking about when that person needs you and you can speak a word into their life. You never know how it will change the rest of their life because some people can find themselves in a place where if they don't reach up, it can literally stop them from going forward for the rest of their lives. That's why mentorship is so powerful and important.
Yeah. Right. That is so, so good. You guys, when you talk about penetrating, we talk about encouragement and how it can penetrate you so positively to build you up, and it can cut you so much it can take you down.
That's
so I want to give you guys some tips, right? I want to give you some tips on what happens when a mentor disappoints you. How do you handle that? Now, we've all had that situation. The situation where someone talks to you that you thought you believed in and you go like this. What you talking about, Willis? You're like, you were talking to the wrong person. So a person that one time can be your cheerleader and then turns around and they don't have your back anymore. You know what happens when you become the superstar in that environment and it doesn't feel so good to that person who taught you how to do something, and then you
That's
take it
real,
to another
Gloria,
level.
talking.
Right?
That's real talk.
Right.
That's real
Right.
talk. That's real talk.
Right. It really makes you do a stand back, and you wonder, you question yourself. So you have to really, really be comfortable in that environment. So let me give you some things. Number one, they say if you have someone who disappoints you, then you need to get some perspective. Get a perspective on what's going on with that person and be real with your person, because it can be an unexpected situation that hits you dead in your face and you choose not to recognize it. Said, look back at your expectations. What did you expect from that mentor? Has that time long passed? Has that did they take you as far as they can take you? And how quickly can you emotionally cut them off so that you can move fast? Because if you can't copy and you can't compare, you got to cut them off. Then it says, prepare to give them feedback. That's a very interesting, powerful way to stand, is that I'm prepared to give you some feedback. And the words that I learned from a therapist was, this is how you made me feel. Not this is what you did, but this is how you made me feel. Because if you say this is what you did, it's an attack. But this is how you make me feel is something that someone can learn from. Mentorship is a two-way street. And it means that everybody has to be going on the same way at the same time, or somebody needs to get off. Then it says, internalize the lessons that you've learned. What did I learn from that situation? You guys, both the good and the bad. Who's perfect out here? Who's perfect? When you spend so much time talking about somebody who's made you upset, you're the one who loses. You missed all the good time, all the good expectation, because that one person has made you look at the circumstance, and somebody else is having a good time at the same party. And because you're in the same party and that person made you feel bad, you missed the whole thing. And then number 5, which I love, is look for a new mentor. The same mentor will not always be on the bus with you, will not always be on the bus with you. Right. You got something, Sabrina? You got something there?
No, that's just so good, Glory. That's just so good. But you have to have the confidence and the wherewithal to say, this relationship has gone about as far as it can go.
Right.
And you take, Chris said, why are you laughing? First lady, what? It's over, okay? Our time is up. It's over.
Sabrina,
okay?
I just love it. It's over. It's over. It ain't going no further. It's as far as it can go. So now you need to find a new one. Okay. Tell me how you really feel. Okay.
Well, that's it.
It's gotta be a two-way
That's
street. You can't just be there to get. You gotta give both. It's gotta be, I mean, it's gotta be win-win for both.
That's it.
Right.
Otherwise,
That's it. Right.
Cut it off.
And you know what? Your view changes, you guys. As you get mentors and you get to a different location, the view changes. And so just be okay with the view changing a little bit. And you got to let somebody go and grab on to somebody else, and let somebody go and grab on to the next one. Because how can you get up the ladder of success if you're always hanging on to the same person, teaching you the same thing over and over and over again? Everybody gets tired of learning the same thing over and over again. You guys, you are here and we got issues. We were covering some issues today. Tomorrow when we're here from 6 to 7 p.m., we want to make sure that you're ready, that you're with us, that you brought a friend and you told them to call in at 313-778-7600. We say that number over and over again, so when it's time for you to call in, you don't need to look for it. We're here and we got issues. This is Gloria, Chrisette, Sabrina, and Katrina. And guess what? We have a commercial on Talk Radio, so you know we're doing something good, We will see you tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at We Got Issues. Love y'all. Talk to you later.
Ciao, ciao.
Glory, that was great. Great show.
OMG.
That was so good. Y'all getting good. Y'all getting good, baby. Getting good. Getting good at this thing.
Girl, I was saying to myself, I think this might be the first or second time I'm not dripping. Y'all on Facebook, we love y'all being here because we used to be like acting cool and sweating like a mug, boy. We got issues. Our shirt got issues. Our bra got issues. We got issues. And then we have to jump on another Zoom looking like this.
Right. Have you changed your clothes?
Wow, that was good. Callie gave me that topic. You know what? We love when we're in conversation with our girlfriends. You guys give us topics. So we love that. Y'all should talk about this. Y'all should talk about that. And so that was really great. That was really good. Bring a
Yes,
friend. Bring
yes,
a friend.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
so I got host tomorrow. I'm excited. We have 2 guests that are coming on, and I can't wait. I'm about to talk to them, getting ready for the show tomorrow. So get your girls, tag your girls and your guys.
Right, right. You guys bring a friend. Bring a friend. If all our Facebook bring at least one friend, we're gonna grow this, and that makes. And I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be really, really good. So you guys are gonna love it. Gonna be loved. We're gonna be on fire with you, Katrina. Fire.
Yes, this is a great one to share, you guys. Share. Download the app, but share this one and ask people to listen. So thanks so much. Bye.